Welcome to Live Trading with Benzinga. I'm here fighting through. Ryan's getting ready to go ahead and knock it out. Zunaid has the energy and ready to YOLO. So let's go ahead. Let's get to it. Welcome to it. Live Trading with Benzinga.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas law, that phrase.
Kiana.
Fisher.
Joy.
Joe. Cards drawn are the past, ones to come are future.
And the best part? It's beatable.
Hey, how we doing, traders? Let's go ahead. Let's get to the morning. What are you guys watching out there, Ryan? If you want to share your screen, or Zunaid,
Sure.
I think
I've
looks
already
like
got
you're
mine.
ready. So take
Yeah,
lead, my
yeah.
friend.
Take Absolutely. Taking a look at Rivian here. It's close to its lows, I believe, which was around 70. There you go, $75 or so. So I'm looking for possibly a retest of the pre-market high, somewhere around $82 or so. Somewhere around $80. And if it can get it there, I think it'd be a nice little short to the downside. We had this one short, nicely played on the 6th, I believe it was. So I'm taking a look at this one. On the Qs yesterday, I remember talking about the level that I wanted for it to come down to was the 370. And it did, popped below it. And then once it got over, we were able to get that nice bounce. And that's just strictly, seat time, if you will, knowing the whole numbers and things like that. And you can see it tried to go ahead and break it again, but you see that it set a higher high on the 10-minute and continue the rally. So what am I looking for here? Now, to me, the highs yesterday where you're looking at about 380, which was something else that was before support, now it's resistance. We're slightly below that. So if we can kind of go ahead and test that 180, get over the 182 area and go higher, that's where I want to be. And there was a bunch of buying that was happening in AMD and NVIDIA. So let's go and take a look at NVIDIA yesterday. NVIDIA for today, I'm going to be looking to kind of see if it can come back to this 270 area, hold its support, and then continue its march on upwards. I'm also going to keep an eye on the options because that's what helped me get in as close as possible to the bottom. I didn't get the actual bottom. But once trend changed, once things went above VWAP, as you can see on NVIDIA here, got in, lost money, came back in, made money. Again, risk reward there. So that's what I'll be looking for, is just to see where the trend goes, if we're above VWAP, below VWAP, and then absolutely always checking out options to see where the big money is so that my measly dollars can go ahead and make some money too.
All right. So one of the things where I'm going to take a look at, or remember when we stopped yesterday, when we ended the show yesterday, one of the things that I said is I want to see what happens with this. We were in the midst of a sell-off. The broader market was coming down into its support area, and it started to hold and reverse. And the parting thought was, I want to see, does this continue to reverse? Do we retest and break some of these lows? Let's see what happens. Well, now that we have the entire candle done for the day, you can see right here on the chart exactly what SPY did, right? We formed a hammer candle. We came all the way down to the 100-day moving average, bounced off of it almost to the penny, formed a hammer, and we're going to see what happens today. And we're a little bit higher today. We're going to see if we retest that low or if we continue to go up from here. What this tells me is that the buy the dip mentality is still around, right? If we take a look at the intraday chart from yesterday, we sold off, buyers stepped in, bid this all the way back up, almost unchanged. But if you look at some of the individual names, that type of behavior was more pronounced. Here's Apple, right? So Apple, this is the stock that is up really good over the past year. I would imagine for a sell-off over the past couple of years, we would need this to get hit. Maybe 160, 165 before this actually turns around and attracts some of the value buyers. And if we take a look at the intraday chart, we went all the way back up to unchanged, even closed green. That same effect was even more pronounced in some other names like NVIDIA, which Zunaid just went through, right? This was definitely green. Tesla, same deal, right? So some of these stocks that were hit, that are high flyers, they were getting hit early. They just didn't stay down. The buyers came back in and bought the dip. So I want to see now Are we going to retest some of those lows? Are the buyers still around? Did they vacate? What's Powell going to say in his testimony today? Going to kind of watch all of that as just another index that I'm actually watching is going to be the IWM, right? We're still in this frustrating channel. Really would love to break out of this channel. Unsure when we're going to do that, but a very similar formation happened, right? We sold off towards the bottom of the channel, bounce. Do we continue to go back up towards our moving averages, or do we try to retest some of those lows? Going to be watching that. One last thing, I'm going to be watching SBEV here. This is a ticker that's no stranger to making runs in the past. We have a why is it moving here? Splash Beverage shares are trading higher for the company announced it received authorization to sell its tap out performance drink in Walmart stores across Florida. So drinks going into Walmart, but it's only across Florida. I don't necessarily like this for the long term, but this might be a scalp trader that we can take a look at today.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to go into I still have the swing trade put on Goldman Sachs, guys. I have a 400 entry. We'll look for this to get back above 402 today. If it doesn't get back above 402, what's our out on the downside? Our out on the downside is below 395.80s. We got a couple of price points that went down below that yesterday, but didn't really close down there. And then it recovered back almost to 400, close to 401 also in the pre-market. So let's see if we can get back up there to 402. eBay, if we can continue seeing that get weak through 64, we could trade that one. That was a great trade yesterday. And for that being mentioned, I want to take a look at Caterpillar, see if it can catch a dip buy today. Remember, this pulled back just a little bit yesterday, not massive pulled back. So I'm looking for these infrastructure stocks to stay hot. DE is another one you can take a look at. You see how yesterday you kind of still had a green candle, even though it pulled back. That shows me relative strength there in the industrials. So industrials is definitely the area I'd be looking to continue its upside move.
Something else, people talking about Tesla. I want to talk about Tesla real quick. And one other reason is because we talk about VWAP here so much, right? A lot of traders do. But especially here, we mentioned you see Mitch taking, shorts off of it. You see me taking longs off of it, all that stuff. And just look at Tesla here as I'll talk about the chart or today's action in a minute. But just look at this, how VWAP held on the 10-minute, right? Here, and it continues its on march higher. It's just a better risk reward. So if you're trading, if you're a new trader or whatever the case may be, please go ahead and go back and look at the favorite tickers that you like to trade and just see how it behaves around VWAP and start your strategy around there. It's just a great risk reward. And that's what we kind of want to make sure we have. But looking back at it, Tesla reclaimed the 1,000 yesterday, marched, tried to test it again here, and then it couldn't break VWAP, then it marched on upwards. Now what I'm looking for, if I was trying to get in this one, was obviously if it gets over 1080, I believe we go ahead and touch that $1,000 mark, right? But where can we possibly get a dip buy? The first dip buy that I potentially would want to be at, because it's already around 1050. Yeah, that would be the case where I'd want to dip buy if it was around already 1070, but pre-market it's already at 1050. I want to go ahead and say I'm going to be looking at the previous close, which is about 1026.96. That's where I believe we could possibly get a little bit of support if Tesla comes all the way down there. But till then, it is Tuesday. Contracts are not something that I like to go ahead and play. Yesterday, I got a chance to play some puts and play some longs off of VWAP there. But that's probably where I personally would go ahead and wait. And, of course, we'll see if a pattern forms during the trading day. I do wish we were trading all day because sometimes we miss the moves, during after power hour and like 3 to 4 o'clock, whatever, because this was just a nice move on all the stocks. Brian, you mentioned the hammer candle. Looks like all the stocks have a hammer candle.
Yeah, I was gonna make a joke about it being hammer time, but I don't have the garbage bag parachute pants on, and I wasn't about to start singing MC Hammer. So,
oh, and I will go ahead and say this just in case. Wait, where is it? Hold on, give me a second. Where is it? I gotta find it. I don't know if I can find it. I can't find it. I was gonna say, congratulations to anyone who is from Georgia. Go Dogs. Congratulations on the national championship, on beating Bama last night. That was huge. That was a great game to watch. Go Dogs.
Dogs.
It was actually a really good game.
I was obviously, being from Atlanta, I've got a bunch of friends that went to Georgia and all that. So it was a beauty to watch.
I didn't realize it was right
Yeah,
there.
yeah, I'm in Atlanta right now, and I was like so tempted to go to Athens where Georgia is, but I was like, nah, I've got trips coming up. Let me not take that risk, whatever. But I did go out and buy some national gear, and holy crap, they marked those things up right at release. But
They
anyway.
know it. They know it.
Man, a hoodie was like 75. I was like, we're going to get a t-shirt for 30. I don't care. We're going to get ripped off, but we're going to get a t-shirt for 30 and 35.
We're going to get
whatever.
less ripped off by getting the t-shirt.
Hey,
Yeah,
well,
I'm getting my margin's still the same in terms of getting ripped off, but like still, you know.
I know that Georgia has a lot of kind of backers, a lot of money behind it, so I'm sure they're happy today.
Absolutely, baby.
Overall market is showing a little bit of weakness here towards the open, guys. I kind of expect this. I know that you guys are kind of looking for an up day, but I don't know if maybe it's me feeling down, but I feel like that bounce yesterday was just wicked and was just literally money being made. And now you're going to see them sell the rip.
To be honest with you, Mitch, I'm indifferent. Whatever happens today happens. I want to know if we continue to go higher or if we retest those lows.
Give me range. That's all I care about.
We retest yesterday's lows.
Just give me range. And if we do sell off, right, let's keep an eye on yesterday's lows to see if that support holds, like Ryan mentioned earlier.
Luce is another interesting one, has an hourly chart that is showing up here, right? So you got from the 7th, right? You pushed on up here. You got a wick, a wick, a wick. So there's 3 times it pushed through this 42.50. We're going to look to see if it gets through that one more time. If it does get through that, then we'll look for a breakout at 43. But if it, let's say, rejects from here, comes back down towards the low 40.70s, and then starts breaking that, you could see Lucid reverse big down towards, let's say, 38 or 36. Dogs by Pink Floyd. Yes, that's a good classic.
Yeah. Daniel, that's awesome. I've got a bunch of friends that went to like Georgia State and all that stuff. But yeah, if anyone is a UJ alumni, congratulations to them. But yeah, the action here in terms of like dip buys and things like that is, I have no issue if we go to the downside. I just care about range because I hate when I get chopped up and screwed, just holding contracts and theta is just slapping me left and right. You know what I mean? Want to take a look at Ford real quick. It looks like 24.50 area is going to be support for Ford. So I'm actually going to go ahead and set an alert around that. See if we can get a couple of 20-cent moves or so on Ford, because that one had a really nice run last week. We'll see how it kind of reacts here today. But that's another one to take a look at. And it just the chips had a really nice move. We haven't talked about AMD yet, I don't believe. But just look at that beautiful move on AMD. As soon as it went ahead and crossed VWAP for the second time. Again, I went ahead and traded it. I lost money on the first one on this 10-minute candle that went ahead and closed below. But then on the second time in, again, we talk about risk reward so many times. It went ahead and worked out beautifully. Microsoft had a similar nice move where, I mean, we went positive on a lot of tickers, right? We went red to green on a lot of tickers. The Qs, I believe, went ahead and crossed green. SPY didn't quite make it, but it was close enough. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here today for sure.
And real quick, I want to give a shout out to Born to Be Free. We did a fantasy league for the happy hour people, and Berlin was one of those, and Berlin took home the championship. So very much like Georgia, nice. Berlin is the winner of the happy hour fantasy league. So Berlin,
that's awesome.
We're going to get some swag for you from the store. If you could reach out to me, just shoot me an email. I'll go ahead and arrange that with you. Congratulations on your trophy.
That is awesome.
I heard you also get one of the Ryan Faloona famous polos.
Wait, what's the famous polo?
What's the famous polo?
My man is always rocking these good polos. We got to get in a polo.
What can I say? I like dry fit polos. Costco's got a great selection of them. Berlin doesn't want my worn clothes. I can speak for him on that regard. We're gonna give him some fresh Benzinga swag, not my worn clothes.
We might have a polo. I was gonna say, we need AB. We need AB to hook us up. AB, if you're watching,
we'll get you.
Yeah, the black one. Let's see what else. I mean, are there any other tickers in the chat that you guys want to talk about? Let us know.
Like Marvel being mentioned.
Ooh, let's see.
Looks like Apple's pounding your pre-market lows here. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, Apple. I'm going to watch the Apple level to watch. Really, is down towards 169. Once that breaks, I think you're going to start seeing some flush action If that breaks, the big thing to me on Apple is there's a huge resistance on the hourly right there, right above it, right, guys? And there's 3 touches. We need to see it get back up through 174, downside 169.
Yeah,
But let's
that
go
nice.
back to Marvel.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
skipped.
I'll check out Apple because you mentioned it, so I'll go ahead and check it out. And
Yeah.
I'll go back to Marvel here. But look at that nice double bottom there on Apple. Went ahead and broke the neckline here as well. And it's coming back down to me. I typically am always looking at around the 170, right? And you can see yesterday it acted as resistance. Let me go ahead and do this. It acts as resistance right there. Wow, did not mean to do that. Excuse me. Long day, long night. We'll move it on that. But it went ahead and acted as resistance. And what happens after something acts as resistance? It goes ahead and acts as support. So resistance, support. Now, since we're above, I am looking for Apple to go ahead and act as resistance around that 170 area. I am going to go ahead and set some alerts there. If it comes around this area, I will go ahead and grab some calls, and the break of 170 will be my out. And I will say this. I realized this when I was watching back my trading and things like that. My risk tolerance is very high. Right. So that's why I enjoy playing weeklies, because I'm okay with that. That's just my mentality. I'm okay with that. If you like a trade that we're calling out and you don't want to play the weeklies, play 2 weeks out, play next week, play a month out. That way you're only losing a little bit, right? Especially if you're just starting off. Well, first off, you shouldn't buy what we're saying in the first place. But if you like the theory and the strategy behind it, and you believe that may happen as well, Don't try to play weeklies if you're uncomfortable with it. Go ahead and get a couple of weeks out. That way data isn't messing you up as that much.
I've done that with your plays, Zunaid. You have found a spot. I think it was an NVIDIA and an Apple trade where you were in there buying this week's calls. I love the setup, so I just bought the monthly. I gave myself some more time. I didn't actually exit the same day as you. I think it was a couple of days later or whatever it is. So I'm glad that you said that, because it really is all about the setup. What you're doing when you're selecting your strike and expiry is you're applying your own risk management to your own trade, which is exactly what everyone should be doing, frankly.
Yeah,
the setup is independent of that.
Yeah, no question. But I didn't want to mention that. Let's go ahead and take a look at MRVL, I believe was a ticker. Here, let me kind of zoom out a bit. Let's go ahead and take a look at the daily. Yeah, see, everything's just got like a little bit of a hammer there. Almost closed the gap here. Didn't quite do it. 76 area would have been that. It looks like you're going to run into some resistance around the 82, which looks like is the pre-market high. No, not 82. What is it? Yeah, around 84, 85. I don't necessarily see a nice setup here. Mitch, Ryan, if you guys have anything, feel free. But I personally don't necessarily see
to me, that's a little, to me, if you go back to that chart that you were just on, actually, I believe that was for daily. So to me, this is a little hairy, right? Yeah, we got the hammer. Great. But we're in that gap. That hammer is most of that wick is in that gap. So unless we're actually building above some of those lows, which, as you were saying, can act as support, to me, this is almost like if the market reverses, this is coming back in for sure.
Yeah,
right. This is coming back in for sure. So I'd want to wait to see if that actually holds before you take that to the upside here. Hammer's great, but we're in the gap there.
Yeah, and I'll say, look, psychological level of $80, sure, that could be your soft resistance, if you will. You can see how $80 went ahead and held right over there. Let's go ahead and take a look back at the 10-minute.
One sec, go back to that real quick, because I just want to address a comment in here. I've talked about this a lot. BNZB Trading saying Ryan's floating island. So you're absolutely right. You set right where that yellow box is that Zunaid just drew. That's your gap. It moves up and sets the range, comes back in and tests the bottom range. That's what we talk about all the time. Then moves towards the highs. Now the issue is that when it approaches, what is that, 90? It looks like 92 on your chart. Numbers are a little small. When it approaches that high that second time right there in the middle, I wish I could draw on your screen, Zunaid. It's killing me.
Sorry.
After they see that those two green candles right in the middle where it makes like an
right
M,
here,
right in there. See that next high to the right?
Right.
One more green candle up. One more to the right. There, right, that area right in there at the top of those.
Yeah, you're looking at about 90s.
Because that doesn't actually take out the previous high, this doesn't continue. So now we've come back to the base of that island, and that's why I'm a little bit worried here. right? We're beneath the island. Yes, we've got the hammer, but we're beneath the island. We're beneath that support. I'm not sure if this is going to continue today. Good observation there, though. That was a floating island when it first
We've
came.
got folks talking about SPY, so let's go ahead and see what the action here is on SPY. You can see it's bouncing off of the level that I have here, which is 465 on SPY. What time is Powell speaking? I'm not sure. I always assume the dude comes on at 2 or 2:30.
I think it's earlier today because he's testifying, right? It's 10 a.m.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, it's like 10 a.m., 10:15-ish time. He might be a little bit late, but that's when we're actually going to wrap up today, guys. We're going to be wrapping up and bringing you over right to those PAL comments.
Awesome.
So if you guys wanted to stick around here on Benzinga and catch those PAL comments, just stick right here, guys. We're going to bring you right to it. As soon as he starts talking, I'll start wrapping up here on live trading, and then we'll get you right over to PAL. And then I wish you guys the best luck for the rest of the day. We'll see if PAL makes some comments.
I wouldn't be surprised if we went ahead and tried looking at the SPY chart, right? If we would kind of went all the way up, tested the previous close, which also happens to be VWAP there. And then that's where we kind of possibly can come on right back down and test the lows of pre-market, right? So you kind of come back, test it. If we break it, phenomenal. If you don't, come back, test the lows again, and then see what we want to move on with our lives to do. But that's what let's take a look at the Qs. And again, if anyone has any other tickers in the chat, let us know.
Beach Bum was saying oil's popping. Yeah. OPEC said they don't want $100 oil. So that's probably where it's going.
You've got a firm there as well. I feel like, was there a big options buy yesterday? I don't think there was. I don't think I purchased anything where there's like millions of dollars coming in or anything like that. Someone had mentioned MU, Micron. Yeah. I mean, you know, chips, right? Made the same similar move that NVIDIA did, made a similar move that AMD made and all that as well. SoFi. We can talk about SoFi since Spencer's not here.
Exactly.
Right? SoFi, I mean, this one here, let's go ahead and pull up the daily. And of course, if anyone else has any opinions on this one, yeah, it's just ugly to me. And here's look, I am not a technical analyst, you know, master or anything like that, but I like my clean setups in terms of like a bull flag, a bear flag, give me some, you know, support resistance, clear things like that. Here, bro, I'd be trying to pick the bottom. You know what I mean? I'm not quite sure. I don't know, Mitch, if you have any insight on this one, but you can see it was acting as resistance earlier. Here, support. So sure, short term, I'll go ahead and say $13 is support, but I don't know. Not my expertise. Not going to pretend like I am. But if it does come to $10, then yeah, I'm interested just because of the psychological number of 10. And of course, you can see it's never been lower than 10. I like the risk reward there. Yeah,
this is the chart that I called some red flags to, just because it looks exactly like the Genie chart on the monthly. If you look here on the monthly, we're starting to take out the lows. This was my concerning area that I said, if we get into this box, be careful, because you could break 10 and you could easily be back down towards 7, 6, right? This is a SPAC. Let's just be honest. I could point you out 5 different SPACs that I thought would never get underneath 5 that are at $3 right now. So I would stay away personally.
Yeah.
There's just no point, right? If it's that much risk for it to come down to $5, I would think this is a stay away, but that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, someone asked, what do I think about bank earnings? So bank earnings are, I believe, are on Friday, right?
Well, they start, I think, tomorrow.
They start tomorrow. Thank you. I think, yeah, Wells Fargo and a couple of those report on Friday. I'll be honest, I am not a fundamental guy. All of that talk goes over my head. I personally, the only reason I care about earnings is because I'll play earnings run-ups, right? So NVIDIA is actually one of the ones that I'm interested in, because I believe they report in February. So I'm interested in possibly getting some monthlies once the market kind of settles down, or what I believe is settled down, to kind of play an earnings run-up, because you can see it's already had such a beautiful fall from the 350 area all the way now down to 273s. If we go ahead, and you can see I've already got alerts that if we get back to like the 250 area, one, not only am I going to look to get a trade, but two, I'm going to try to get some contracts a month or so out in front or after earnings have been reported. That way I can get an earnings run up and maybe hedge a little bit, things like that. Someone talking about pins and putting a bunch of pleas and banks. So we'll go ahead and take a look at it. Pins. Oh man. This one has made me a lot of money, and it definitely cost me a good amount of money on the last leg for sure. Just what an ugly one. Here is someone else. I was watching a YouTube thing, and someone else mentioned this. You had rumors of PayPal wanting to buy it right around here. So if there were companies that were interested in buying them around 55, you best believe companies are probably interested on buying them around 32. Now, is that the only reason you should go ahead and buy the stock? Absolutely not. But to me, $28 looks like a better area of support than this right over here. You can go ahead and start nibbling if you believe in the company long term, but 28 could be a better spot.
All right, mentioned in the chat was why is the Powell speech set to start at 10 a.m.? That's because that's when he's supposed to start talking. So I know that some people are thinking that it's the classic like Fed meeting where he talks at 2:30. That's not what this is, guys. He's going to be doing in kind of an interview, and then he has a Q&A. The Q&A is really the area where you should pay attention to. Kind of his testimony, I think it's not going to be much given there, but the Q&A is where you could get some questions about what the Fed is looking at, how the interest rates, inflation. Remember, we had the minutes come out last week where they talked about how they were selling bonds or potentially going to sell the bonds and actually
that
bring
caused the market to move.
Yep, and so comments on that are something that you can pay attention to. Of course, the Q&A is going to try to come after that, and that's where the fireworks should be. So that's where I'll be watching.
And this is
he's testifying.
Perfect time to plug Benzinga Pro, because if you have Benzinga Pro, you can be on top of all of these economic events, not just Powell, by going to your calendar tool and selecting the economics calendar. You can also select the date range. All right, market's open. We're off to the races. Let's check it out.
All right, guys, we'll be watching my Goldman Sachs right out the gates here to see if it gets a nice little pop, right? I mean, I'm in this one at 400. Would love to see it back above 402. But if it didn't take that out, I'll definitely be paying attention to it. I'll let you guys know if it does get back above that 401.
Apple a little weak out of the gate here. It's early, but that pre-market weakness looks to up. Now it's rebounding. All I had to do was talk about it, and it went the other direction.
Yeah, you've got SPY at 465 here, right? Where it was lingering in the pre-market. A little tempted to take some calls, but I'm not going to just rush things. Give it some time, see what happens, see what plays out, look around. Let's see. You've got Tesla around the 1050 area as well.
Here comes SBEV coming in towards 150. Potential bounce spot here at 150. Not there yet. No position at this time. UVXY pushing up means the VIX is pushing up.
See this way. There you go.
Apple and Tesla kind of at their lows so far.
Yeah, I want Apple to come back down, but a couple of bucks. Come down to at least the 170, 50 area. Give me a little bit of a better risk reward. That way I can give Apple 60, 70 cents to move around, which is more than I typically like. But, you know, what can you say? A little meow coming in.
Yeah, he is really, really upset. He's like, you are going to work for another 10 hours today on this stupid computer. I'm going to scream at you.
There you go.
Well,
Tell the cat. What's the name of the cat?
Buddy.
Tell Buddy that if they've got lotto numbers that we should be playing, we will be happy to retire from the computer.
Buddy, what are the lotto numbers today? Zunaid wants to know what the lotto numbers are.
Good fellow, the trades that I took yesterday were perfect for afternoon trade. Yeah, and that's where it kind of sucks because it's like, we want to give you guys winners, but we wish we were trading all day. But obviously, we have a bunch of other great programs that we have to focus on as well, and we also have other jobs that we do for Benzinga. So,
but that's also why we're trying to teach you process, right?
Very good call.
If we teach you process, you can apply it at any time, whether we're on or not. Yeah. But is it going to be a green or a red day? Tiny Pie Media wants to know. He just hit the chart that is all red. He hit the red candle with his nose, Tiny Pie. So it looks like today is going to be a red day per the cat.
I would say red and green.
Red and green. All right. Cool.
Like the guy said on CNBC the other day, he was like, the SPY is going to go up to 5,500 or come down to 3,500.
Somewhere in there.
just pretty much give me 1,000-point range.
We've got someone talking about Dollar Tree. I'll keep an eye on Dollar Tree. Looks like it's one
It's
of the
actually
ones
one
that's
of my
up.
top trades.
And
Tilray,
part of my top
Tilray
trades.
coming off the bottom here. Tilray coming off the bottom.
Tilray?
Yep. You remember Tilray had a move, put in a move yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Apple looks like a good short today. I might get short on that today. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
Tesla looking strong. I think it's going to come up. What I think Tesla's going to do is I think it's going to come up to a resistance first and then try to flush. But Tesla's harder to judge right now. Hasn't been trading the best.
Tesla will sometimes just say, screw you, SPY. I'm going to do what I want, right? And that's always kind of tough. So far, you've got the lows on Apple being 170, 150s. I am keeping an eye on DLTR. Let's see what's going on in that. Let's see if there are any options coming in. I don't see any options there. What's up?
You have a fan, Zunaid.
What does that mean? Hang on. Let me pull it up. He works. I thought he was purposely for sex appeal. It's the haircut. It's the haircut. Give it a week. Oh, you put me on full Zoom. Okay. It's the haircut and the fact that my closet is closed. That's what it is. That's what it is.
You got to go on full Zoom after that. I mean, could I not put you full Zoom?
That was the only move, Mitch. You did it perfectly.
I'm over here looking at charts and you're like, you got a fan. I'm like, oh, they like a ticker that I called out. They made a lot of money.
Nope.
They paid out their mortgage with the lotto trade. Like what?
I want to take you out, Zunaid.
Oh man.
Take you to dinner.
Hey, I'll let you guys know. Sign up for my subscription. I'll let you guys know when I go ahead and have an OnlyFans.
All right. So stocks that are doing well today, guys. LVS, resorts and casinos are doing well. LVS is up 5% already on the day.
Snap, strong out of the open.
So keep your eyes on some of those casinos. They're doing decent. Let's see how technology is still down from the open. Consumer cyclical is not doing that bad.
I like this spot here on Microsoft.
Reversing.
I'm not going to lie.
Shaq.
I like this spot.
Shaq, strong stock today, guys. If you want to take a look at that one, SHAK, good pre-market chart coming back to VWAP. Looks interesting there at 74.
I'm going to take a small size here, very, very small size, just a couple of contracts on Microsoft. I'm getting the 310 calls on Microsoft for this week. If it breaks this, I'm going to give it about $1 room. If it breaks it, I'm out. But I did go ahead and get filled at 467 on Microsoft. What I'm looking for is for it to possibly come back, give us a couple of bucks to the upside. I'm basically looking for that 310 to hold as support. We'll see if it does. Put your limit orders out there because the option is a bit spready. So I'm actually going to put my first one out at $5.04. Excuse me, $5.40. I'll let you guys know if I go ahead and get filled.
K-Web pushing here out of the open. We talked about this last week as a potential swing trade. So K-Web, you're 3 points now on that swing trade. If you're still in that, I think you could probably trim and trail here. That probably my distrust for Chinese reported stocks, although I think that this could move into early February.
Real quick, if you can go through my charts, Microsoft, I went ahead and came right back up, give us a beautiful $2 move. So those options are now going for $5.75 on the bid. Go ahead and take those, lock those in. That's a whole dollar that you just got under a couple of minutes. Someone asked if there was an inverse Zunaid EFT out there. There's not, but you can always do the exact opposite. So if I tell you to buy calls, you can go to buy puts. If I tell you to buy puts, you can go to buy calls. And JD saying, don't put mental images in my head. Hey, listen, someone else brought it up. All right.
Yeah. Jeff likes to get hot and bothered regularly.
Don't worry, guys. He's not
real quickly.
He's more of a Playboy centerfold than an OF type of guy. But don't worry, you guys can find him on Playboy later.
Oh my goodness. NFT, baby. Call me.
But Zunaid, by the way, your Microsoft trade, this is actually when we have bull markets that I feel confident in, this is my favorite way to trade big caps off the open. This is what I call the idiot drop. You have a sell-off right out of the open that really kind of depresses the price. In this case, we moved $3 out of the open here.
Yep.
You bought calls, and that bounce immediately gave you profit. Immediately.
Exactly. And that's
out of that trade so fast.
Yeah, and that was literally, I bought these at, 9:35 and 20 cents or 20 seconds, whatever. And yeah, it bounced $2-3. I'm already gonna, already exited half the contracts that I had. It was a small size for me anyway, because I've realized last week I've suffered calling the bottoms and bottom picking, so I'm being more careful. But regardless, beautiful way to go ahead and get those quick bounces. We talk about whole numbers and all that. Look at that 310, right? It went as low as 309.89. It went 11 cents under the level that I had in my mind. But now you're looking at the bid of 580. That's more than $1 move. Please lock these in as you're up about 25%. Do not let this go red, because you're also going to run into resistance here at the previous close about $1 away. So please lock in at least half, if not 3/4, because good God, who knows what's going to happen here in the future.
Great call out on Microsoft. Great trading. And I really want to kind of double down on what you were just talking about taking your gains. We're in a market here that's volatile. Things are back and forth. Things seems to swing wildly on a dime. We got Powell starting in 22 minutes, right? So if you have gains, don't be afraid to take them. Market's going to be here tomorrow. If you have more money than you did at the start of your trade, then you're doing good. Don't worry about the home runs on days like today. That's how some of your trades go red.
There's still more than 400 trading days left. We don't have to get everything back today. All right, let's go and take a look at the Qs.
I know that things are going down. You're probably looking for some strength. So before you talk about the Qs, I'd call out Lucid. Remember Lucid, I gave that 42.50, right? We just went through it and pulled back to VWAP right now at 42. Look for that takeout at 43 on this move. If you're bullish Lucid, I mean, that looks nice right now. I would look for it to kind of hold here and then take out the high, but really it quickly turned around from that 42.50. So at least for my sense, I'm not going to go long here just because it doesn't seem like the best chart right there. But I mean, technically, you do have a breakout level if it can get back above that 42.50.
Yeah, you've got Lucid here, about 20 seconds left till the 10-minute candle closes. If it was able to close above the VWAP, I would be more interested in getting into this one long, but I'm not sure if that happens. But if it breaks the low of, if it breaks session lows, could be an interesting short. I remember the $40.50 area was support multiple times yesterday.
Yep. And real quickly on SBEV, I talked about this as one of the stocks that I was watching out of the open. If you throw up my charts here real quick. I got it pulled up already. I was watching this level. I said if it comes back into 150, you might get a bounce play there. No fill, didn't actually do that. Came into 155, bounced and ran away. So for right now, I'm out of it. I had this pegged. This looked like a pretty good opportunity here. I've seen this run in the past. I missed my plan. So what I'm not going to do is chase it here and then all of a sudden take a loss. I was hoping to get down to 150, off by 5 cents. Trade ended up working out, but I'm not in it. No big deal. Move on to the next.
All right, guys. Apple having a little setup here, guys. It's in a bear setup, but it could also, rotate and go bullish if it holds above this VWAP. But this is kind of that down 1, up 1, down 2, up 3. If it touched that VWAP, I would have liked it a little bit more, but it didn't get right to it. It got towards a high there of 172.17. The VWAP is at 172.22, but it looks like it's trying to take out that low.
Bringing up Microsoft again, this is exactly why you want to go ahead and lock in profits, because those options went as high as about, what was the high today? About $5.90, I believe, was the highest traded after the trigger that we told you guys, and now it's trading at about $5, right? So that's 90 cents that you went ahead and lost if you didn't go ahead and lock in profits. The reason I bring it up because now it may come back and test the 310s. So the one contract that I have remaining now, if it goes ahead and breaks this 310, cool. I'm out. I'm done with the trade because we already locked in majority of our profits on the 313 area that it almost went ahead and hit. We'll see what happens here. I'm keeping an eye on Lucid as well, but look at this wick. Look at these wicks that are happening. Again, I want it to close above VWAP, and that's where I'm going to go ahead and get in long. Otherwise, I'm not touching it.
What did the SPY do, guys? It hit down, right? That's what kind of we expected it. The big thing is going to be around 10 o'clock. Do we get that 10 o'clock reversal? That's what I'll be looking for.
Yeah, if you wanted to be cute on Microsoft, you could put it in an order at maybe $4.40. I am not going to do this because I'm happy with what I have. I don't want to give any lunch money back. But if you wanted to be cute, you could go and put an order in for $4.40. So if you get filled on the 310 test again, maybe you can go ahead and sell it real quick for 50, 60 cents. But I am not doing that. Just a thought process out there. Lucid hanging on above the previous close.
K-Web pushing, Baba pushing.
Let's see. Let's check out Baba. Baba I was hoping to come down to $100, man, but I never got it. News came out about Charlie getting in to Baba, and it just, I don't know if that's, the reason it's not at 100, but I was really looking forward to having Baba near a $100 level. You can see it bounced off of 110 a couple of times.
Yeah, and that 110 level goes all the way back to 2016. So that's in fact, I'm going to mark this on the chart because this is a pretty important level.
Yeah, you've got Baba here above. Man, I like stocks that right out the open after the first 10 minutes are above VWAP and they have a little bit of trend. But I'll be honest, these Chinese stocks, even though it's a day trade, they still worry me. I don't care.
Yeah, no, me too.
I
Man.
still have
Me
trauma.
too.
I still have trauma. Even though Trump's not president, he can't tweet anything and crash everything. Still got trauma.
Even so, that to me, I was less worried about what Trump was going to say and more worried about them not reporting numbers accurately. So that's still there, frankly. That's my big thing, and that's actually why I felt better about trading KWeb as opposed to individual Chinese names. Felt like your risk was mitigated at least somewhat in that.
Hey guys, putting an order out here for Shaq at 74.22. I'll see if I get a fill. The spread is a little bit bigger, so you could not potentially get that fill that I want. I'm trying to get a fill closest to the VWAP right here, which would be 74.20s, and I could risk off the 73.75s. Trying to get it back above 75.23s. Still no fill yet. I'll let you guys know if I do get a fill.
Market rolling over here. I see the Bear ETF appearing on my scanner as well as for the S&P as well as the TZA here. So market rolling over here. Just be careful on what you have.
Yeah, my computer is acting up. God damn it. What's going on?
IAC just holding still. I see that mentioned in the chat. Looks like it's just kind of flat here today. Igor saying reward is also less with KWED. That's correct, Igor. So this is a risk reward assessment that we're actually making. And that's exactly right. Chinese think the same about US stocks. That's okay. We report our numbers correctly. I'm not worried about their opinion.
All right, guys.
There was something I read
chat.
the other day. It was how like China has now reported 2 Omicron cases, and I was like, all right, cool. 2, just 2.
Cool story, bro.
Just 2. Yeah, my computer is all jacked up. It's like refreshing. None of my stuff's working. I'm glad the audio is. I don't know how my video's
Open your
looking.
closet door. Maybe that'll fix it. Oh, that's funny.
Maybe.
I'm amused.
That is funny. That is funny.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't even know what's going on here. Come on, guys.
I might get stopped out right here, guys. We'll see what happens. Trying to get Shaq back above VWAP here. Just testing my resistance or my support right now. The spread is too big. That's where this one gets tough.
What is going on with my computer? I'm calling AT today. I'm calling Aaron Thomas and be like, Aaron Thomas, I need your help.
Just fly him down to Atlanta real quick.
No, not to fix my TV, but to tell me a new setup that I need to buy. Oh man.
Just looking around here, folks. Running through my scanner results at the moment.
Yeah, I can't even. I'm not able to pull up any charts or anything. Let's see if my E-Trade's working at least. Nope, even that's not working. Lovely. Splendid. Oh, wait, nope, I'm back. Yes. All right, cool.
Lucid heading back towards VWAP, guys.
Nope, lost it again. Damn it. All right, let me see if I can refresh these charts. If not, I might be out of commission. I'll have to restart my computer. Let's see. You did have some contracts coming into the Microsoft 320s. I'll be honest, I can't pull up any charts. So I have no idea how Microsoft's looking, nor do I know how much they were buying into. But I saw at least about $50,000-$70,000 worth. Yeah, see, it was a Microsoft. No, you're fine. I'm still not able to do anything. There's a Microsoft 320s, and what is Microsoft looking like?
Microsoft is looking like it doesn't know which direction it wants to go today.
Is it above 310?
Say again? Yeah, it's above 310, 312.77 here.
Cool.
So it looks like it just sold off out of the open, bounced, sold off again. It looks like it's compressing, right? We didn't set a lower low. On this last bounce, we didn't set a higher high, so it looks like we're kind of compressing into this range. It's going to move. It's going to go one of these directions. Unsure which one it's going to go at yet.
What we do know is that it's going to go right. All right, I don't want to miss the rest of the trading stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and hop out of here, unfortunately, so I can restart my computer, guys.
Go ahead.
Because we're leaving early anyway. But it was a pleasure. Hope everyone made a lot of money on that Microsoft trade. Hope you understand the thesis and the reasoning behind it. But we'll see you guys again tomorrow. Maybe I'll stream or something like that as soon as my computer is back up. So follow me on Twitter. See you guys later. Bye.
Take care, Zunaid. DWAC
See
popping,
ya.
Peloton popping.
All right, let's take a look here. Peloton, that's an interesting pop.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Relief rally.
Yeah, I was gonna say this thing's been so beaten down. I mean, it's gonna need more than this to
Got
get
out there, guys.
On the buy side.
Now, out of Shack there, guys. Decent size loss there, but I think I'm not going to take another trade for the day. I'm probably not in the best position. So there you guys have it. Out of Shack there. And good thing I was out. Saved myself 30 cents.
Let's see what happened here on the Shack trade. So it looked like it was just compressing, and this is kind of like what we're waiting for on Microsoft, right? So it's compressing here. This actually snapped to the downside. You ended up exiting your trade.
Yep. Got to get out, guys. One thing you don't want to do is hang on to a trade in this market environment.
I was going to say, especially as the market's laboring right now. This is crazy.
Yep. These Goldman Sachs still hasn't broken 395 on the downside, so I'm still in that long trade. But SPY coming straight down, right? I mean, this is what I was concerned about, was because of the way that the market closed yesterday, were we going to come straight down at the open here? I think you might get that Powell bottom here near that 10 o'clock, but definitely SPY coming right back down, right? And so we'll see what happens if it comes back and tries to take out the lows. But for right now, we're about halfway down. We made a pretty big move on up from the lows. If you look at it from the top, you're talking about 2.45%. Now from there, you're down about 1.19%, so about 50% of that, close to it. Thoughts on Goldman Sachs? I'm still in it, Ryan. I'm holding it for a swing trade. Would like to see it close above 420.
The bank trade's been tough. Goldman Sachs is best in breed, but it's just been a real tough trade so far.
Yep, I just think they kill it all the times on earnings, so that's why I'm waiting in. All right, guys, let's see what's out there in the sectors. Looks like all the sectors are getting into the red except energy. Technology is probably the least one in the red, about 0.16, so that one could catch some bid on some of those names. Keep your eyes on that. Electronic gaming and multimedia having a decent day today. Names like TTWO, Zynga bouncing back. You guys know those two are probably trading hand in hand right now. Don't look too bad. Roblox catching a little bit of a bounce there, 2% bounce. So if you want to take a look at Roblox for the day trade, I think it's looking good. Personally, I still don't like these for swing trades just because we haven't been seeing many swing trades do well.
ATVI moving big. Yeah, Cyprian is saying Roblox. We just talked about that before Zunaid signed off. Roblox really taking out the highs here. Really kind of a move off this 84.50-ish level. Took out the highs again here. This level we actually identified as one of the important ones not to break here. So it seems that we're holding in this. This is a move off yesterday's hammer candle, which we talked about at the outset here.
Looks like I got faked out in that shack. It's already back up past my levels and looking like it wants to take out the highs. Look how this chart looks now, guys. So there's a breakout. I got stopped out right before the breakout, and that happens sometimes, guys. I respected my levels, but definitely nice little breakout there in shack. At least I had the right mindset, just wrong timing, and that happens sometimes.
It happens. That's part of the game, Mitch. Sorry about that.
No, it's just part of the game, guys. No need to be worried about it. Just keep going. SPY got a nice bounce there, guys. Look for the up moves now. Yep. Now you're starting to get that reversal time, right? 9:45 to 10. Now start looking for the reversals on the upside. One that I'd be looking for the upside reversal is Apple. It did come down towards the bearish look, but now if it gets back above VWAP, it could get bullish here. Let's take a look at some of the tech names like AMD. AMD's back above VWAP. Let's see if it holds VWAP on pullbacks and starts pushing on up. NVDA looks interesting now. Nice strong candle up there to VWAP. You can be using that VWAP or the 271s as a support. Let's see if it pushes on up through here and continues its upside.
BCRX just really kind of pushing the highs there. I see the thinker shouting that in chat. We saw that here. That is moving here out of the open. Looks like it's sold off a little bit and bounced just on volume. Not in this trade, though. Didn't have this one lined up.
On NIO, it's a little bit dangerous, these Chinese stocks. Just to mention, the framer out there put out that he wouldn't buy any NIO or any Chinese stock. So just be careful out there.
Tilray continues its push up today, right? So it was higher in the pre-market, sold off as we got towards the open, and now it continues to push here. Set a big day yesterday. Not in this, though. No trade as of right now. It bounced off the intraday high from Friday. Don't see much new stuff out there traded. How about you, Mitch?
Maybe if you wanted to trade a simple trade here, LUV. I at least like it because of the pattern. I'll show you it right now, guys. Look at this pattern right here. Up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3, pull back, hold. That looks good now. As long as the 45.50s doesn't break, I'd look at this to get back above VWAP and hold it. Then start taking out the 45.80s. Then from there, 46. Look for a volume increase into it. One thing you do see is declining volume right now. Look for a nice little volume pop as you get back above that 45.70.
Looks like Jeff is trading oil to the upside. XOM calls, COP, not in those. Not trading oil right here, a little extended.
All right, guys. So I'm just going to do some stocks from the chat here to wrap it on up here. So let's go ahead. I'll start knocking some of these down. BFRI being mentioned by Hex. Is that still moving? That BFRI? Remember when that one
was moving earlier. Yeah, BFRI moving off the lows.
Yeah, BFRI looking interesting there. We'll see if we can get back above the 6 and hold here. The real level for me is 7 on the upside. When that gets back to 7, that is when I'd pay attention to it, but not a bad one there. Uber being mentioned. Uber looks
near the pre-market highs.
Looks interesting on the weekly. Trying to set up above 45 is where I'd get bullish. So from here, if you could see it take out 45s and then get back up there, it should be looking good here to take out the 50. It's not a bad looking chart. Square being mentioned in the chat a bunch of times. I think it's a stay away until it gets back above 160. But then again, you're talking about a stock that has retraced in about 2 or 3 months, about 50%. So it could be finding that bottom now, 50% retracement level, kind of can near that. We'll see if it can hold down here. If not, it could get back down towards 120 or make up the whole move. All right, let me go back to the LUV trade, see if that went and ripped. We're going to be wrapping on up here in about 4 or 5 minutes here, guys. We'll see if this LUV can make a move on up. It looks interesting to me. I do like it.
Lucid really pushing those highs here.
Yep, Lucid, man.
Highs out.
That's why I was watching it, right? I gave the levels to watch for the breakout. And when we touched that, I said, if we get back through there, look for the extension through 43. 43 is that level where you really start kicking it. And what happened there? Look at the volume bar, guys. Look at the volume.
Huge through 43. To me, looking at this trade kind of in retrospect, you want to toss this up here real quick.
Yeah.
Right out of the high, right when you had first mentioned it out of the open here, we set this high. We pulled back here. We held the pre-market low. All right. Pretty easy to see here. And then we started to bounce. Your trade here is on a break through this. And to your point, Mitch, we had that with a gigantic volume stick. This would have been an easy scalp. Ended up paying $1. But you probably wouldn't have hit it for an entire $1. Still, really nice scalp here through on Lucid. This is a great spot this morning. Great spot this morning.
This is why I like the hourly charts, guys. This was an hourly setup and a nice hourly breakout. And one thing you can do is if you measure the flag from that hourly, the flag is actually pretty big. It's about $4 flag. So you could get a $4 breakout from here, let's say from 42 to all the way up to 46. So not saying that it's going to get there today, but at least from the technical measurement, it could get up there to 46. So we'll see what happens. I think this is looking good now to take out the 46 and then maybe even get to 50. The 19th, though, keep in mind, you do got lockout date.
Shares are exiting lockup on the 19th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is good to know. I actually didn't realize that.
Got you, man. LVS, guys, having a good day. 6% day. If you guys wanted to trade something that was strong, LVS looking
This
strong.
was upgraded this morning.
Yeah,
Yep.
Look at that 5-minute sideways consolidation there. Also at the top part of the price point, showing you that it's good buying measure up here. We'll see if we can get through the resistance, get back up there through 39. Not a bad looking day there for LVS. All right, Ryan, anything else you want to leave off with, man?
No, man, I'm going to watch the major indices again. I want to see if we end up hold this. Do we retest the lows from yesterday? Market looked like it already tried to roll over once today. Buyers stepped in, so I want to see if that holds through the rest of the day here. But yeah, otherwise, just going to watch the broader macros and also the VIX, right? Anytime we seem to drop into the 18s, VIX seems to spike. So we'll see if that continues to hold. Currently, we're at 2060 on the VIX. Looks like you're muted, Mitch.
Sorry about that.
Muted, my man.
LUV is one of the trades I'll call out for the rest of the day. It does look good here at the VWAP. Let's see if it gets on up there and starts pushing. But that's going to do it for us, guys. Up next, we're going to get you guys over to the Fed. Definitely, we need to find out what happens with Powell. What is he thinking? You know, one of the things is you are going to get a Q&A. I think you got to definitely pay attention to that. The Q&A is definitely going to be where I think
it's the most important part of today's thing. Absolutely. 100%.
Definitely, guys. All right, guys. That's going to do it for us today on live trading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed me coming on here and having some fun with you guys. Ryan, Zunaid.
Always.
You guys smash the thumbs on up, and I'll see you guys next time. Like always, guys, hang in there. Let's see what happens in the market.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night.